Pouring liquor on the curb where my brother died. It ain't that I don't cry, I ain't even got the time. They wanna see me locked down even though they try. I stay on my grind, I ain't even got the time. Shorty wanna ride now cause I'm in my prime. I'm good, loving joy, I ain't even got the time. Niggas always gon' hate, I stay on their mind. You see the rollie shine, it ain't even got the time. Money on my mind, I ain't got the time. A lot of niggas pillow talking just to come inside. You know the rules, all of yours. If it's one of mine, word to chinks. I ain't got no love for the other side. Do or die. Coming for my crew, that's a suicide. Who am I? Proof that what you need to make it through's inside. Truth and lies, they hate that I can see right through they new disguise. But what's a small fry when them chips you get is supersized? That's overseas, they sleeping on them dopamine. I be in the hood, I know the dealers, I serve the fiends. No, it ain't no feeling when you find out what your purpose means. I'm known for putting MCs in the hearses and my verses mean. They calling me savage, I'm turning up. Believe everything that you heard of us. The image of God, my skin color bronze. The reason they hate and they murder us. They label us heathens and murderers, misleading the people and burden us. God lead us from evil, deliver your people. I came as your humblest servant was. Born from the stick-ups, kick doors. They ain't give me shit, I had to get more. Lights on the 6 when I flip raw. I used to dream of trips and a big tour. Still with the grip, that was a dream, but it's real with this brick. Told her Rakim better chill with the drip, cause they frying the little fish, see if they flip.
Ain't nobody getting close to me. Yeah, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And there ain't no need for stress when I got blessings all over me. But at the top it's getting low. Now I got demons all on me. But at the top it's getting low. Now I got demons all on me.
They say the only way you grow is pain. I know the game, no home in the cold below the rain. I never show the shame, I live by the code. I never spoke a name that goes to show that we not both the same. I dynamite when the climate's right, get the China white. I told her if I got it right, keep that vagina tight. She laughed and said she might, I wasn't serious. These niggas be going up north looking delirious.
Good afternoon, King. How are you?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
You all slowed up.
I am? Let me go out and come back in. Can you hear me?
You still slowed up.
April.
Yep, I'm here.
You can hear me, okay.
I can hear you. I can hear both of y'all really good.
I don't know why you're slow, King. Can you go out and come back in? Let me see. Is that better?
It's still slowed up. I don't know why it's like that. That's weird.
I can't see it now. Let's see.
We back?
Yep. You can hear me? It's still slow? You still hear a delay?
It's not a delay. It's your whole voice is slowed down. It sounds like a tape slowed down.
I can hear you perfect. I don't know why. I was hearing an echo at first, but now I don't hear anything. It just sounds like we're talking regular. We're waiting for King to come back in, you guys. You are now tuned in. I am your host, Miss TML. You are tuned into Upnorth City Girls podcast. We have King F.L.O in the building today. Very talented artist. videographer. He's done so much work in the industry, and I just want to give him his flowers because he's a hardworking guy. So let me bring him in. King, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, but you still slow down. It might be something on your end.
April, can you hear me?
I hear you. I hear you. It's not on a delay or nothing. It's just the sound slowed down. You might
Uh-huh.
gotta check. You might gotta check your settings.
Can you hear me better now? Let me take my mic out. Okay, can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. I had to put the AirPod in. Sorry, my bad. I was like, what's going
Yeah.
on?
Okay. So, King, tell us what you've been doing. I know we were just talking, but I wanted to save it for the show. So you were telling us that you just got back from Miami.
I hear you. I hear you, and I mean, but you just sound slowed down, crazy slow. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to exit the show and then come back.
Okay. That
I was
dude
like,
Jay.
what happened? And then I was like, oh shit, Bluetooth. That's what it is.
April, I hear like static on yours.
Can you?
Yeah,
Hold on. I'm gonna take the Bluetooth off.
we're having some technical difficulties today, you guys.
And I mean, I honestly, I can hear you guys just fine,
Right.
which is
Now I heard
crazy.
before I was hearing you fine. Before you said
Yeah.
you put your headset in.
Hold on.
But I took my extra mic out. Like I have a podcast mic, so I took that off, and hopefully that
Can you
works
hear
again.
me now?
Yep.
Okay.
So I know we have a lot to discuss this show because there's been so much stuff going on in the media, so many things that have been trending, and we definitely want to catch up and shoot our shit on that.
Yeah.
King, can you hear us?
Oh, we back. Yeah, everything is good now. Yeah.
So tell us where you've been these last couple of days. I know you told me, but tell the people what you've been.
Um, the Street Heat team and I, we've been in Miami, just celebrating. Last night we had an exclusive yacht party with World Star Hip Hop. We had Fetty Wap over there, Hellro was over there, a few more other people, Danny two times.
Okay.
Before that, on Friday, we had to celebrate my birthday, so we took our own little yacht out and had a street heat party on a yacht. My team currently is in the middle of going public with our NFT and token cryptocurrency, and so we're doing a little bit of celebration. We just had a little introduction party right before we left at Quad Studios, where we had made our NFT public, made our token public, and we had Jim Jones pull up, Dave East, Fab pulled up, Five Mics, Nems, a whole bunch of people pulled up to show love and to support our token. So we're just really we've been in Miami just living it up, having fun. Also, we went to Bitcoin 2022 in Miami and did some networking for our token as well.
Oh,
So
that's
we just took over Miami for the last couple of days, and I just literally flew in like 45 minutes ago or so. And yeah, man, we here. We
I
here.
love it. I love it. I think that it's important for us to discuss the NFT world right now, with just music and media and things like that. And I'm glad that you guys are ahead of the game. Already minting your own coin. That's super big, and I don't think people really understand the NFT game and how it works. Can you just spread some, information or some light on that?
Um, so basically, the NFT and is a non-fungible token. In the art world, It's a little bit different than in the music game, but recently, a lot of artists have moved on into bringing NFTs into the music game. One major artist that has been capitalizing off of this is Tory Lanez. Um, and basically, what it does is it cuts the middleman out. It cuts the middlemaning of the labels out, and it brings more residual income from the artist.
Right. Right.
So
Exactly.
basically, what we're doing is we're giving artists opportunities to create one of ones artistically, and to be able to incur 100% of their revenue, whether it be residual or upfront. Um, and then we're giving the fans of the artist the opportunity to resell the work now and make even more money off of it because of the limited amount of production on certain pieces. So basically, what it does is it creates another market and way for artists to get revenue for their art and their craft.
Now that's dope. I definitely have seen some independent artists as well taking advantage of that and just doing a lot of their artwork and minting it, making it an NFT. And it's important for us to know this ahead of the time. Ahead of time. I think that if people would have known what they needed, what Bitcoin would have did 10, 15 years ago, they would all bought it. So
Right.
and I've seen recently in the media a lot of people have made a lot of money off their NFTs. So I wish you guys nothing but success.
Thank you.
How does an artist get in touch with you guys about that, or trying to work with you guys as well?
Artists can get a hold of us many ways. We have streetheattv.com, which is our website.
Hmm.
You can go on there and check out our content, going from music videos to production and what we do with artists in the music industry as well, to the NFTs, and to contact us directly. Contact our directors and our producers, engineers, and stuff like that. So you can go right on the website. If you guys want to reach out to me directly, you guys can go to kingflowmusic.com. I do a lot of artist development, and I walk artists through a lot of the ways that they can retain residual income through NFTs and in the crypto world. It's kind of a risk either way. The whole crypto market, NFTs and bitcoins and stuff like that. It's kind of a risk either way you take it, but it's not as risky as putting your life in the hands of a label that you don't know is going to shelf you or take 90% of your income.
Right, right.
So
That
contact us directly through the websites. If not, social media is always a good way to contact us. We'll see Street Heat, Tanner Street Heat, or myself, the real King Flow 360 on Instagram. Yeah, we're available. We're reachable. We don't, anybody who has questions, we don't hide the information. We like to educate, and we want to give back to the culture. That's the main purpose of why we're doing this.
that's dope. And I see that with you guys, and I respect that. It's all about educating people. I think that the more that we become, pioneers in this business, the better we are able to build a business with integrity, you know,
Right.
and respect. So I want you to tell me a little bit about you, King Flow. Tell me what first got you into music.
I would say music has always been a part of me. From coming up as a little kid, I always had a passion for music, dating back from when, my parents told me that I couldn't play the violin because we couldn't afford it. So I went to the program at the school and I stole one, when I was about like 9. So I taught myself how to play the violin, and then, music has always been in me. So it just escalated from there. I taught myself how to play the guitar, then I taught myself how to produce beats. And then, my cousin Barbara actually got me into the hip hop. She passed away, rest in peace. But she had introduced me to the Fugees' first album that I ever heard,
Wow.
and the production on that album was so amazing, and the way that they mixed in, songwriting and actual lyricism and the message, and it was just a beautiful album that that kind of like centered me and geared me towards, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to create music rather than just be, just a rapper or just a musician. I want to engulf the whole aspect of creating music and make that my craft.
Right.
You know.
And I was going to ask you too. That was one of my, sidebar questions, from the questions that we have already for you. But do you think, how do you think that it's been able to give you an advantage being a videographer and a video director in this music game? Do you think that that's helped to mold your craft as well?
Oh, absolutely. When it comes to making music or creating music or even something as small as writing a verse or something like that, I kind of look at it in the perspective of the visual.
That's right.
So so before I write something or before I put it down on paper or lay it down on wax, I kind of think of, can I make can this look possible in real life, or is this something that can be real? If it's not, then I don't really want to talk about it.
Right.
I only want to do things that I can put into visual. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of gives me a little bit of an advantage, because a lot of the times when I see people coming into the studio, being an engineer myself, I work with other artists and they really don't have no idea what they're going to say, or what they're going to talk about, or whatever the case is.
Right.
But being somebody who's involved on the video production side of it, I kind of paint pictures now with my words.
Mm-hmm.
So with or without a video, you'll be able to see what I'm saying and kind of make your own visual to it in your mind.
And
That's what.
I think that's the part that I got from you from the beginning. Like once I seen God King and just the visuals behind that, that was one of my first, I think, introductions to your music. And for me, I was like, wow, like you made me think that you were like you were from Cali, like it was just so surreal. You know what I mean? Like, and just the dispensary shots, the bridge shot, like all of that gave me that LA vibe. But it also had a twist to it. And like I said, at first I was like, is it Mac 10 again? Like, I was like, wait a minute, like the cars, it just was a dope production. And I want to salute you for that, because I know that's not easy putting all that together.
Yeah.
So, and
Thank
now
you.
being blessed, that one for me, the Back to the Future car, I was like that was so dope. So was that a bucket list of yours? What made you put the Back to the Future car in Times Square?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Shout outs to Juice Wayne. He's with me now. He's in the studio with me now. He's one of my artists. We were coming from a party at Quad Studios, and Tana, who was one of the directors from Street Heat, sometimes we get on this kind of spur of the moment thing, and it was kind of like, are we gonna stay at this party and just party, or are we gonna get some work done? And then we happened to be in Times Square for the party, and I just like, we were walking, we were shooting, we were just trying to catch as much content as we could, and then I ran into some guy who actually is from Nevada or something like that, and he owns the DeLorean, and
Wow.
he actually drives it from state to state, getting people to take pictures with it and stuff like that, and he saw that we were shooting the video, and he was ecstatic about it. He was like, "Come on!" Like, he basically asked us if he could be in the video with it, and
That is so dope.
yeah, so it kind of just
Fell into
came
place.
about. Yeah, it kind of just came about, fell into place that way, and it was it kind of turned out to be one of my favorite videos.
Right.
Just by the
Right.
way Tana edited it all together and incorporated the movie with it. It's kind of nostalgic, but at the same time, it has a modern twist to it. So
I think you went, we paused. Can you hear me?
yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I loved it. I look forward to seeing more. I know you said that you have some new music that you're working on right now. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I got a project that's dropping. It was supposed to drop this month, but we had a little bit of technical difficulties with one of the people who were backing us, or who was a partner of the collaboration. But I have a project dropping next month. Today I'm actually doing a record with Nims, Gorilla Nims, Bing Bong, New York City. Vinny Idol is producing it. Vinny Idol is one of my
Shout out to
mentors.
Vinny.
Shout out to Vinny Idol, one of my mentors, my brother. He produces probably most of my big features. I trust him to produce it. I trust his beats with my life. I love him. I got that coming out. I got a couple surprise features coming. I got something coming with Styles P. I got something
Ah,
coming with Dave
Oh,
East.
wow.
I got something coming with Daz Dillinger. Shout outs to Bully Breed Entertainment.
Okay.
They've been really instrumental in uh, helping me with these moves that I'm making. Shout outs to White Boy Productions in Sydney, Australia. Also, they
right,
Justin, he's also been very instrumental in helping put together these final pieces that we needed for this project. It's a big project, probably one of my biggest projects yet to date. Um,
right.
Besides God King, which is out right now, everybody go cop that. God King is everywhere. I'm dropping a video this week featuring P, my brother from the Bronx, P, called Feel It. That's also on the God King album. And then I got one more video from the God King album featuring Corey Guns, Leak Moss, and Whispers. And that'll be the final album from the final video from the God King album. And then we're gonna move on to this next project, which is gonna knock these socks off.
I know it is. I know it is. I've seen you, just making moves, and you're around a lot of industry people. And what do you think, in regards to how does that help you to, understand this business and, just working with them on a different level, I think that gives you a big advantage. You know what I mean?
Um, I understand the business side a little bit better. A lot of people think that things just fall into your lap in the music industry, which it doesn't happen that way. It takes a lot of solid relationships. It takes a lot of years of grinding and putting your name out there and getting rejected. People don't think that it helps you learn that when you see these artists that can relate to you saying, "Damn, man, I thought I was never gonna make it," because they felt the same way too at one point before they
That's
made it. You know what I'm saying? So it helps you with the business to know, like, okay, at least I'm going in the right direction, investing in myself and doing things like this to make what I have to do happen.
that's
And it also kind of like, on a personal side, it kind of makes you kind of like, they say that you should never meet your idols because they might disappoint you or whatever the case may be.
mm-hmm,
Sometimes that's true, and a
mm-hmm,
lot of, and not and a few of the artists that I've been around, I've been blessed to be around a lot of artists, and a lot of artists are good, genuine people.
mm-hmm.
But the crazy part about this industry is a lot of artists are not genuine and not real, and only care about the money and only care about the betterment of themselves, don't care about the culture of hip hop, don't care about nothing. And it kind of is disheartening, being that we in the underground and we care more about the culture than the people who are the supposed
And
gatekeepers.
that's true. It's very true. It's a dirty business in a lot of senses, is what I tell people. And I'm glad that you touched upon the fact of investing in yourself. I see that. That's one of the things that I look for in working with any artist that I work with is, are they willing to invest in themselves? Because if you're not willing to invest in themselves, then that means that they don't believe in themselves. They don't believe enough to put their money where their mouth is, or put their energy where their mouth is.
Right,
Um, and be humble, like you said, because I, have been around plenty of artists, and at the time I was not ready. I felt like, I couldn't go to them and say, "Oh, I want to work with you." I felt like I hadn't reached that level to even entertain that conversation. So now, as I've, grown and done things, and I've worked with certain artists, I can go and say to this, to these artists that I've looked up to, that I've admired, and said, "Hey, I now have a platform. I now have, the ability to give you some resources, or bring or add something to, your table." And
right,
I think that's important, in this industry, is that we understand that it's levels to it. You know what I mean? You can't just go in and think, oh, I'm going to work with Jay-Z or I'm going to work with, Kanye. You have to build up your notoriety. You have to build up your presence and demand in a lot of ways. And
100%.
that's important, and I see you doing that, and I respect that so much, is that you understand the bottom, you understand the grind, and not many artists understand that. They think it's just the music.
Right.
It's not the music, you know what I mean? It's the business behind the music and how you go about it. You have to have a plan and be strategic.
It's like 10% about the music. That's what I
That's
tell
right.
you. Right. Everybody thinks the music is what's gonna make you famous. And yeah, if you get a hit song and people gravitate to the song, yeah, it's gonna give you notoriety. That's 10% of it. But
10%.
the 90% goes with the hard work, man. That's the most important part, is the hard work and the persistence and consistency.
So tell me, who would you like to work with? um, in the industry or not in the industry going forward? I know you said you have some collabs, but what is your ultimate artist, would you say, that you would like to work
Black Thought. This is a good question because everybody asks me this question, and I really don't know how to answer it. Being that I've been blessed to with Street Heat to work with every artist that I've
with? Right.
every artist that I've wanted to or that I've admired coming up, I've been able to be around them and work with them. So it's kind of a hard question, but Black Thought, I would say, from the roots, is probably like one of my top 5 favorite rappers that I haven't met him yet,
Hmm.
and I haven't been in the studio or shot a video for him. So that right there would be an ideal, um, or I guess a dream collab. I guess you would say bucket list collab or something like
Bucket
that.
list.
Would be Black Thought.
Now I know that you've been around recently. Fabio Foreign, he's the talk of the town right now. He's
Oh yeah.
out there working. He's out there. They're saying he's the king of New York right now. So that
Shouts to Favi. Shouts to Favi. Yeah, he's doing his thing, man. And
doing his thing.
Favi is a good dude. Favi is from what I know about him, every time that I've encountered him, very humble, um, very respectful, and very he's just a good guy. You know what I'm saying? And I think that brings him far in the industry, is his personality. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, although they call him the king of New York and all of this stuff, he don't let that shit go to his head, which I respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, that you that guy, and you don't let it factor in on how you treat people differently. Then
Hmm.
that's respect. That's respectable. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
Treat everybody the same, and
That's
that's
right.
cool.
That's dope. I think that's important to still have that level head in this industry, because it's easy to lose it.
Right.
And we've seen that, So shout out to him for that. I just respect, anybody that's grinding, anybody that's willing to work in this industry, because it's important, to get as many collabs as you can and get solid collabs.
Right.
Um, you had the pleasure of having a collab with Fred the Godson. Ain't
Rest
got
in
the
peace, my
time.
brother Fred.
God
Yeah.
rest Fred.
Word.
He was just this humble dude. I had the chance of meeting him. We brought him out here to a show in New England, and one of my artists headlined with him. And he was just always, willing to work, willing to
Yeah.
show up and be there. And I respect that about that man. And what was that like working with him? And you said, like
Um.
you said, you have a good relationship with him too. So
Oh man, inspirational. I mean, to me, he was one of, still is one of the greatest lyricists and punchline men of our time, like of
hmm
our generation. Like, he got to get those flowers. A lot of people what are not still saying things the way that he says them.
right.
People ain't doing it. And just to be in the same room with the guy or be in the lab with him, and him hearing the song that I was making and him being like, yo, that song is fire. I'm trying to jump on that. To me, it's like, okay, I'm here for a reason. This is what I'm
That's
here for. You know what I'm saying? Like, when one of the people who you consider one of the greatest lyricists of your generation tells you that you fire, it's no greater motivation than that.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing like when I was in the studio with Corey Guns,
Mm-hmm.
and we freestyle with Corey Guns. And when I was coming up, I considered Corey Guns one of the nicest.
That's
So
right.
for Corey Guns to tell me and my partner Jo that we one of the best freestyling groups that he ever heard, that kind of blew us out the water. Like, word, like we do this shit for fun, like, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? But that's just doing stuff like that, and like being able to work with people like Fred and it's just a blessing, man. I can't even really. It's like surreal almost to be
Right.
able to say like, yo, when he was saying yo Flo, when Fred was saying yo Flo, you should say certain things like this, or take this part out so it don't be too wordy. You don't tell that man no. You take the advice and you know what I'm saying. You take
Right.
the advice and you switch it up. And I had the privilege and honor to be there and get some critique.
I can hear you. I think we had a
Yo,
little play. Yep. So yeah, that's dope, Flo. I like that was,
damn, I think I
that's
cut
always
out.
humbling to have, artists who have been working, who know, what it
Can y'all
takes.
hear me?
Yep.
I
Can
can
you
hear
hear me?
you.
Yo, y'all can hear
Yep.
me?
Yep. I can hear you.
I can't hear you no more.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Hold on. Can you hear me? He went out. I'm gonna wait for him to come back in.
Okay.
So April, I know you have some questions. So
Yeah.
like, I want to get something, I wanted to get some things out so that way, we could definitely touch as much as
No, no,
possible
I
because
feel you.
he is definitely a good source of information and,
Yeah.
talent. And I'm so humbled and so grateful to have people like him in our network. So,
Yeah, he's definitely doing his thing.
Flo, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I
Okay.
apologize. That was on my end.
Okay. April, Marie, I know you have some questions for Flo too.
I do. I just wanted to know if you weren't doing your music career, what would you be doing right now?
That's a good question. I don't know. I've done music my whole entire life since I can,
Hmm.
while most people were playing in the park with their friends, I was learning how to play the violin. So
Oh, wow.
I would think I would be involved somewhere in the entertainment industry, um, on the music side, I would think. I also have a bachelor's in sound design from Full
Nice.
Sail University. So, if I wasn't rapping,
Mm-hmm.
I would probably be producing, which I do as well. I would
Okay.
probably be more involved in that. But music is just a part of my soul.
So, are you originally from New York or?
I'm born in the Bronx, the
Okay.
Kobe Hospital in the Bronx. I'm from Soundview.
Okay. Because I know
Um,
you've been to New England as well. I know that you did a show out here, and I was there earlier or later that day. I didn't get to see you perform, and I realized that going through your media, I'm like, oh, he was there in Worcester in my city. I was like,
I
so,
was, I
oh,
was. Shout outs to my boy. Shout outs to my boy THZ. He's an artist from Worcester. He just him and Millie's actually just did a record together. Shout
okay,
out to him. Yeah, he's one of my artists that I actually helped do artist development with out there. I was out there doing a show. I was some kind of festival. I forgot what kind of festival. But it was
yeah,
pretty dope, man. It was pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. I actually love the people out there. They love me. Everybody is so like the music scene is great. I love it out there.
yes, it's dope. I love it. I want to see you out here again. Definitely, I gotta be there.
Let
So
me
keep.
know. I'll come out anytime.
That's right. I know you're going to be doing some upcoming things, so I'm definitely going to try to get out to the city. It's, always hard just doing so many different things, out here in New England, but I'm definitely trying to make my presence in the city this summer. So hopefully I can get
Please
out
do.
and check out some
Any
shows with you.
any listen, anytime you coming out, you let me know ahead of time so I can get you on my list or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You all good, come with me.
I think. Okay. So tell me, what is your favorite song to perform?
Um, right now, I would say I love performing "Blessed," um, only because, that's my artist Juice Wayne's like debut to the game. Really, that's the first song that he put out that's really got some real serious recognition. And when I bring him with me to the shows, it's just a whole nother vibe. I mean, he comes with me to the shows when I'm performing by myself as well, but
Hmm.
whenever I can get him um to experience what it is to perform. I've been doing performing for so many years. I performed in every venue that you could think of, and every time we perform Blessed, it'd be like recently when we performed Blessed at the hip hop museum. That was his first time performing. You know what
Wow.
I'm saying?
Wow.
So for me to be able to introduce somebody to their first time performing, that means he probably doesn't know it. He does now because he's sitting right here. But that means more to me than bringing somebody to the studio or something for the first
That's
time.
right.
Like it's just something that you can never put a price on the first time that you touch that stage in front of people. It's just not, you know
It's
what I
not.
mean? And that's special to me.
That's right. I That's so true. Being able to give that person that platform and that pedestal, to show how great they are. You're a king in itself. You know what I mean? Only people who understand royalty and understand what loyalty is, really understand what it takes to set yourself aside, because you're doing this just like him, but you're
Right.
giving it a platform and you're passing the torch. That's tremendous, in itself. And I know, I hope he's just as humble and just as grateful. I want to have him on the show. I look forward to hearing more from him. Tell him
Absolutely.
definitely we appreciate the feature. Um,
Absolutely. We're gonna
we'll
lock him. We're
discuss
gonna lock him in for this show so y'all can interview him too, man, because he got a lot to say, and I feel like just like you said, it's an opportunity to be a part of the future of the culture of music.
that's
You know what
right.
I'm saying? When you see somebody who has the passion and you see somebody who's talented and you see somebody who can make a change, I'd be remiss to not put myself aside and not help him grow as an artist. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
A lot of people that are in the game see that as an intimidating set of circumstances, but me, I see it as promising. I see it as we can get there together.
That's
I'm
right.
like you said, I'm doing this either way.
That's right.
But but what I find is that when we go to Miami and we on these yachts and we check, it's not me by myself.
Mm-mm.
I would be sitting there feeling like a loser by myself. It's me and my team, and we smiling, and we laughing, and we eating, and we a family, and that's what we building over here. And
And I love
that's why, and that's why I do what I do, especially with artists like Juice Wayne. Um,
I think you earned that title as king, because that's how a king thinks. You bring me back to one of Jay Z's lines. You're only as rich as the next man standing next to you. You know what I'm saying? And
right,
people need to understand that, when it comes to building an empire, when it comes to building a brand, you have to bring each other up just the
right,
same. You know what I mean? We all want to be bosses. And that's all I want around me. You know what I'm saying? Is bosses and people who are in control of what they're manifesting.
right,
So shout out to
one hundred
you
percent.
for helping
Thank
that,
you.
dream, and building more kings like you. Because like I said, you don't know how, that experience is going to help this man to be able to be, like I tell people, anybody, my proteges, people who say, oh, I want to be just like you, I want you to be better than me.
Right,
That learn from me,
exactly,
because I
exactly,
made the mistakes.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so now I can give it a little easier, and a
That's
little
why I
more
said.
faster.
That's why I said I've been performing for the last 10 years. If I can get you on the bigger stages than I got in the first 3 years, then we doing something good. And so far, we've been
Right.
able to do that.
That's right, baby. That's right.
You know what I'm
It's a
saying?
blessing. It's a blessing. So tell us, April, do you have any other questions?
I wanted to know if you could change anything about the industry, what would it be?
I would have to say we got to put the soul back into the music. The
Mm-hmm.
industry is so cookie cutter, it's so everybody sounds the same, doing the same thing. There's no soul in it. There's no more feeling in it. So when I hear a record, it doesn't move me
Mm-hmm.
the same way it did as if when I heard a record like, let's say, Just Like Music from
Okay.
Eric Sermon. When you hear that, it brings you a vibe, it brings you a feeling.
Mhm.
Right.
It brings you to a place and time in your mind where you can feel, oh yeah, I remember what I was doing when I was now the music is so mechanical
Mm-hmm.
that it doesn't do that for me anymore. If I turn on the radio and I listen to the song, it all sounds like one song jumbled together.
Right.
If I could change anything in the music game, it would be that. We need originality. We need soul back in the game. I don't
Right.
want to have 10,000 drill rappers on my radio. I don't want to have 10,000 whatever rap. I will much rather have a bunch of weirdos being different and bringing difference to the game.
Right.
Right. So tell us, from hearing your music, I can say that you are, I would say, honest, in what you talk about and what you express in your music. And that's what I appreciate. I can hear your struggle, I can hear the pain. Um, and so, what would you say about the music that you typically create? What is it like?
um, I use music as a therapy tool. So when I create music, it all depends on what I'm feeling that day, maybe what I ate that day, or what I went through that day. But when I get into the lab, it's a culmination of all of those feelings that I'm getting out as a therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that I think that when I do try to put my music into a therapy, I try to keep it as real to my heart as possible.
Right.
One time I made a song, and it was in the midst of, I was going through family issues with my sons and whatever the case may be, and their mother. And I made a quick song and I put it out there, and somebody hit me up in my DM and was like, "Yo, I don't know if God sent you here to tell me this, but what you said is exactly what I'm going through." And I felt like I was so alone. And before I heard what you were saying in your rap, I felt like I was by myself. But now I know that somebody going through the same thing that I went through, or is going through the same thing that I went through, and I feel like I could relate to you. And he told me he loved me. And after that day, I decided not, like, because I used to make a lot of braggadocious music, which I still can, depending on how I feel. Like I said, it's a therapy. But I try to think of people who are listening to my music now and trying to find somewhere to go, somewhere that they belong, somewhere that they relate to. Because I know that my story, although it's exclusive to me, I know a lot of people go through similar things, especially in our culture.
That's right.
And so to be able to give somebody something that they can relate to and say, yo, bro, you saved me from being alone by myself. I know I'm not alone now.
That's
That's
right.
something that's something that changes the way that you create now, because you understand the type of impact that you can have on a person
That's a
just by
life
your
of a
words.
prophet. That's a prophet. You know what I mean? That's a person who's giving you their testimony to identify with. And one of the things that I got from your music is that you had a stretch of time that you were behind bars and coming home, and I was able to interpret that in a way that I was like, wow, here's a man who's telling you, his story, that he came home and the business was different, the industry was different. And how do you think that has, changed you or molded you now coming home and having to sit down? Because I know a lot of artists that, they go through that where they're great artists, you know what I mean? But they have a time where they're in jail or they're locked up, and it gives them time to be, a little more creative and get their lyrics out, and they're writing more. So how do you think had affected you at that point?
Well, jail slowed me down. I was out on the street going a million miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
At the rate I was going, I was gonna end up killing somebody, or being killed myself.
Mm-hmm.
At the rate I was going, the things I was doing, what I was doing to other people, um, situations I was putting myself in, and jail slowed me down, and
Right.
it forced me to stop and be alone with myself, be alone with my thoughts, find who I was, find my religion, find what religion I don't want or don't believe in, or find, you know what I'm saying? It just helped me turn my eyes and ears inside so I could find who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So once I came home and everything in the game was different and I knew who I was, it kind of put me at an advantage because a lot of times people come home from jail and it's either sink or swim. They either come back,
Right.
they either go back to jail for whatever reason, or they're really successful in what they do and they keep pushing. And I didn't want to be the latter. I didn't want to be somebody who said, you know what, I'm coming back home. I'm super gang banging still. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Nah. I wanted to learn what the digital era of music had to offer, like the streams and being able to release my music digitally without having to go through a label, and just little things like that artists don't even know, like the struggle it was to go print up 5,000 CDs and go sell them on Jamaica Ave. Artists don't know what it's like to do that, but I did that.
That's
So
right.
it's like
Coming from that and now to this new era and having to learn it and understand it. I tell people, one of the people that I remember talking about digital streaming early in the game was Max B.
yeah,
And he was, real serious about making people understand what the next 20 years was going to be about. And
right.
just understanding how to capitalize on that and getting ahead of it. So, shout out to you because like you said, it's either you sneak or you swim. When you come out of prison and you're, dealing with, I have something that I'm passionate about, but now how do I still make myself relevant in this industry? How do I still not lose myself to what's going on currently? What's the trend? And just trying to stay original and creative. I think that you've been very successful at that. And shout out to you for that, because
Thank you,
I know it's
appreciate
not
that.
easy. It's definitely, something that artists need to pay attention to, is that you can't be doing what you used to do, but you got to kind of try to, stay original to what you used to do, but still catch up with the times and be, vigilant. Um,
The thing about it is too, like it could be beneficial. Like, don't just being an artist is ever changing.
that's
The
right.
game the game
Fast.
changes every single day in the slightest ways, and you have to be able to adapt to it.
That's
A
right.
lot of artists aren't able to adapt to it, which makes them lose the consistency of how much they put out, or how much they're working, or where they're at. Or you gotta stay on the pulse if you're trying to do a certain thing. Once you get a set fan base, like certain artists have cult followings that'll never go away.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kid Cudi.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Certain artists got fan bases that'll never go away. You know what I'm saying? They could put out a record and it'll never do bad, because the
That's right.
same fan base is constantly gonna buy. What's son's name that you be listening to all the time? Yeet. His shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of some the new artists. What you got to do is you got to check out how these new artists coming out, how they're securing their solid fan base, not the ones that are buying views and buying this and that. I'm talking about the ones that pack out shows, like what's his name, Vampire Guy, Cardi, Playboy Cardi.
Playboy
That
Cardi.
that that boy's fan base is the craziest fan base I ever seen. And if
Right.
he put out a record right now by surprise at midnight without telling nobody, that shit is selling 1 million or
That's
more.
that's right.
And it's crazy. And that's how you got to do it. You got to just watch how artists like this. It's just like studying, like when I was a kid, and how we studied Diddy and Pun and,
Mm-hmm.
and Jay-Z and all. It's these young artists are that of their generation.
Mm-hmm.
So in order for an artist like myself, or like, look at Jim Jones, for instance.
Yep.
Jim Jones manages to stay relevant. How? by doing exactly what I'm saying right now.
Yep.
The only way for him to stay relevant is that he's on the pulse. He
Mm-hmm.
see what these young kids are doing, and he say, I could do it better.
That's
And he
right.
does it better. And that's just what you got to do.
That's what you got to
And
do.
a lot of people critique him and be like, "Oh, he too old to be doing this." But that nigga, he eating out here. What y'all talking about? He everywhere.
That's right.
He everywhere.
That's right. It's true. It's definitely about staying relevant. One of the things that I look for in an artist and is an artist who understands the value of reinventing yourself. Because in this business, you are a character, you are an image, you are something that people buy into, that they relate to. So if you can't sell yourself, if you're not marketable, then who's going to buy you? Who's going to demand you? Who's going to believe in you? You know what I mean? So that's one of the things that I think artists need to understand when coming into this business. I think Nicki Minaj, I think a lot of these, 20th century artists have formulated this pattern. You know what I mean? Of you have to be a gimmick. You have to be an image. You have to be something that people say, I remember that person because they wore pink hair, or they have one eyebrow with, no eyebrow here. And you have to do something creative. You have to be creative in this business.
Like me personally, like, yeah, you right. And that's the way that you make your pop stars, I feel like. Because it's different. It's different. It's not hip hop anymore. It's different side genres, I would say, or like sub classes of hip hop or something like that. I don't know, however you want to classify it. But like, if you look at an artist,
is what they're calling it now.
If you look at an artist like J. Cole, there's no gimmick about J. Cole. He is J. Cole. He, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's what makes his fan base gravitate to him so much, because it's like, I could be a regular dude. I don't gotta be iced out and flashy shit to be nice at what I do and be respected in the game. And he kind of sets a different precedence. And he, to me, is considered hip hop because of how he does things and how he moves. So it's like different subgenres of these. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got your drip rappers, and you got your trap rappers, and you got your drill rappers, and you got your, like, it's all kind of different. It's kind of confusing. And like,
but I think that's what J. Cole does. He sets the stage for the average guy. You know what I mean? And I think you're right in regards to what we relate to him about, is that he doesn't give us the flashy images. He just gives us that. And I think whoever his directors are and the people that he worked with, they hone in on that. He just wants to be the average guy.
I think from the beginning of J. Cole's career, one of my good friends actually went to college with him, and he's been hands on his whole, like, he everything goes through him.
Right.
Like, it don't come out unless he approves of it.
Right.
So I think it's just the way he want to keep it, and I respect that about him, because that's what our real society is. Our real society ain't what they portraying, and, like, I mean, yes, it is to an extent. People out here doing drugs and all type of stuff, but that's not what we want to glorify out here, man.
Right.
Word.
Right. And definitely not. We definitely want to highlight, ownership, entrepreneurship, and people that are, taking control of their lives. I think that's important. And being your own star. Like, that is, I think that's what makes a star, is the person who doesn't just go with the trend, that sets their own bar, their own stage, and is confident in that. And that's
why a rapper, not to cut you off, that's why a rapper like Action Bronson, let's say, like Action Bronson is a complete, if you watch his content, he's a complete weirdo. He's a funny guy, goofy guy, likes to have fun, likes to, you know what I'm saying, eat food, likes to smoke weed. Like, he's just a funny dude, but he just remains true to himself, which makes his fan base go absolutely crazy for him.
Right.
They love him, and they will do anything just to be around him because he's him. That's what a lot of these gimmick artists don't get. And then you get them gimmick artists into a room. I call them artists because they're not rappers or
right.
MCs. But you get these artists into a room and you try to have a conversation with them, and some of them be dumb as rocks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or just have it, or let's not say dumb, but just have no substance about them.
That's right.
Like after the gimmick, there's nothing. So you're just an empty shell of a gimmick, and that's why like I like that's this generation's version of one hit wonders.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think
certain
that's what
artists like
people
that.
brought into with Cardi B, in regards to her naturalism, her realism, from the beginning. I think that's how she gained her following, from just being, the videos. That's where I first knew her from. And
Yeah.
over time we found out that she did music, and
Right.
it became, you know what I mean? But it's like she had this personality, she had this influence on our culture, of just being real, just getting on, having her wig, no wig on, no makeup, no nothing. And she just was real. You know what I mean? And I think that's what people really bought into with Cardi. And now, I don't know so much. You know what I mean? I think she definitely is a lot more commercialized, but
I
I think
agree. And so
the
with the
real,
gimmicks, with the gimmicks that she be pulling and the way that she be doing stuff now, it kind of alienated her original fan base. So
I think you went out. Can you hear me?
Yep.
April, you got any more questions?
I
We're
don't.
almost going on an hour, huh?
I don't.
You don't?
He's
Okay.
good though. No.
Ah,
Talented man. So
love it. I'm going to let him come back in, and we're going to ask him one more question. Is it still? Nope, it's April.
yep, still me.
Yeah, yeah.
He was over there smoking. I was like, damn, I'm jealous.
Yo, you see me, I have to like mine up, right?
Oh my
And I'm
God,
like,
I'm
yo, and I'm
so
going to ask
mad.
him in honor of 420, what is he
Jesus.
smoking on?
Oh, so mad. I miss it. I'm like, I cannot wait.
Hold on, here you go. King, can you hear us?
yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
That's me. People calling me. I know you said do it on the laptop, and I'm in the studio, but I just figured, fuck it, we here.
Well, we know you got to go. We know you're a hardworking man, but I just want to ask you, what is a message that you want to tell your fans and artists out here? Do you have a message for them?
Oh yeah, man. To the artists, be true to yourself, stay consistent, invest in yourself, and work hard. Sleep is not a option that we get in this game a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm sleeping 2-3 hours a day. Sometimes I don't get no sleep.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not getting no sleep and you pushing towards your goals every day, that means that you're working hard. If you accomplish something towards your goals every day, that means you're working hard.
That's right.
To all my fans, you know, stay positive. Life has ups and downs. Uh, just keep one thing that's the most important thing in the foreground of your perspective, and that is your family. I'm not talking about your cousins and aunts and uncles. Yeah, those are family, but I'm talking about the family that you build.
That's right.
Keep that in your perspective and keep your grind focused on them, and you'll always have that motivation and inspiration to keep going.
That's
You know
so
what I'm
dope.
saying? And you're not alone, man. We all here together. We all part of the same body of water.
That's
Just
right.
we all individual glasses poured out. You know what I'm saying?
That was dope, King. In honor of 420, we're gonna ask you what you're smoking on, since April is over here. She's pregnant. She can't. So she was
I'm
just
so
saying,
jealous of
Oh,
y'all right
word!
now.
You pregnant? What you about to
Yes.
have? What you about to have? You know what you having?
I'm having another boy.
Another boy?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. There we
Yes.
go. Congratulations,
Thank you.
Queen.
Thank
You know what I'm
you.
saying? To
And
you
I'm
and your
looking at
family.
y'all smoking. I'm just like, damn it.
Mhm.
this
I
is some
Don't
can't
LA
worry.
wait.
confidential.
Don't
Not
worry.
your book good.
I'm smoking on that King Flow pack. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Cultivated in Oregon. I got my own strain.
Nice.
If y'all
That's
want, if you
up.
know, if y'all want to taste it, I'll send y'all a little care package or whatever the case may be. We'll
Oh
chop
my
it up
God.
You
offline.
Yes. When
already
I
You know what
know.
I'm
dropped in
saying?
October, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? I got y'all. But in honor of 420, anybody want that King Flow package? You already know what it is, man. It's out there. It's in dispensaries in California and
Wow.
Oregon. Y'all can
Next
go
time
get
I'm
it,
in
man.
Cali, I gotta go find that, bro.
Go
Seriously.
go find it. Yeah, you know I got you. I'll send you something. Don't worry about
Okay.
it.
All right. All
That's
right.
what's up.
It was a pleasure having you on the show. I appreciate you. I value you. Anything you need, you know I'm here.
Thank you
Um,
for having me. Likewise, y'all. I loved it. Y'all was dope, man. I'm sorry that we kept getting cut off, man. Hopefully, y'all don't do one of these in person. I'll come down there and we
yeah.
can do this in person.
Well, that's next season. We're going in the
All right.
studio next season. We'll be on
Yeah.
FM radio next season. So I
Say
just
no
wanted
more.
to do this, this season and get, more supporters, more people aware of it. So when we go into the studio, we have a full platform and we'll be doing it on multiple different streaming networks. So
Hey,
that's what's next
anything,
for Upnorth City Girls.
anything I can do, you let me know. I'm on deck, man. I appreciate y'all for having me on the show. The honor was all mine. Believe me.
Our pleasure. I mean, I can't wait to see you do big things. Like, I can't wait to see you on the screen at the award shows because I know you're
Hey,
about to blow up.
That's
So
right.
you have your
hey.
shit together. Like, I'm super impressed. So nothing
Thank
but
you. Thank you.
success to you.
Hey, appreciate you, man. Yeah, yeah. From your words to the energy in the world, you know what I'm saying? Bring it
Mm-hmm.
home. We
Man.
bringing it home.
Yeah, that's right. We love a king. We value you guys and men like you that are out here paving the ways and educating our younger brothers. And I just respect that about you. So kudos to you. And I like to give people their flowers while they're here because life is so fragile and so unexpected. And I want you to know that you got nothing but support from Up North City Girls.
Thank you. Thank you.
We can't
Yes.
wait to have you back either.
That's
Can't wait to
right.
be back. Let me know.
That's
I'm on here.
right.
I'm on here all the time. I'll come in
We
here and
gonna
just spectate.
That's right. We trying to get you out here for a performance for sure.
All right, yeah, let's set that up. Let's get it.
All
Yeah,
right.
whatever.
You have a good day, a good studio session.
Thank you. Y'all enjoy y'all day too. You're
You
All
too.
right, honey.
Thank you.
all right.
Good.
Show 'em how we do this here. Pouring liquor on the curb where my brother died. It ain't that I don't cry, I ain't even got the time. They wanna see me locked down even though they try. I stay on my grind, I ain't even got the time. Shorty wanna ride now cause I'm in my prime. I'm good, loving joy, I ain't even got the time. Niggas always gon' hate, I stay on they mind. You see the rollie shine, it ain't even got the time. Money on my mind, I ain't got the time. A lot of niggas pillow talking just to come inside. You know the rules, all of yours. If it's one of mine, word the chinks. I ain't got no love for the other side. Do or die. Coming for my crew, that's a suicide. Who am I? Proof that what you need to make it through's inside. Truth and lies, they hate that I can see right through they new disguise. But what's a small fry when them chips you get is supersized? It's overseas, they sleeping on them dopamine. I be in the hood, I know the dealers, I serve the fiends. No, it ain't no feeling when you find out what your purpose means. I'm known for putting MCs in the hearses and my verses mean. They calling me savage, I'm turning up. Believe everything that you heard of us. The image of God, my skin color bronze. The reason they hate and they murder us. They label us heathens and murder us. Misleading the people and burden us. God lead us from evil, deliver your people. I came as your humblest servant was. Born from the stick-ups, kick doors. They ain't give me shit, I had to get more. Lights on the 6 when I flip raw. I used to dream of trips and a big tour. Still with the grip, that was a dream, but it's real with this brick. Told her Rakim better chill with the drip, cause they frying the little fish, see if they flip.
Ain't nobody getting close to me. Yeah, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And there ain't no need for stress when I got blessings all over me. But at the top it's getting low. Now I got demons all on me. But at the top it's getting low. Now I got demons all on me.
Yeah, they say the only way you grow is pain. I know the game, no home in the cold below the rain. I never show the shame, I live by the code. I never spoke a name that goes to show that we not both the same. I dynamite when the climate's right, get the China white. I told her if I got it right, keep that vagina tight. She laughed and said she might, I wasn't serious. These niggas be going up north looking delirious.